Mother Centers have always encouraged women to advocate for themselves and their families. Since 2003, the NAMC has nurtured the development of a dedicated advocacy initiative called Mothers, which focuses on the economic impact of being a caregiver. It is through this initiative, coupled with our earlier efforts, that we're finding supporters stepping forward to become individual members of the NAMC. We want to thank these far-sighted contributors, including our larger grantors, who are underwriting our efforts to make a difference for mothers. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you Valerie Young, our Advocacy Coordinator, and our woman in Washington, who will tell you a little bit more about mothers and about her important role in that work.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Valerie Young. It's nice to see you. I've heard about Mothers Centers. I've heard about the mothers that go there and what they do, and I have never actually been with any of you until today. And I must say you are a funny group of people. You're a resilient and resourceful group of people. You're smart. You know exactly what's going on. And there are people in Washington who would very much like to know what's on your mind. A lot of the elected representatives and also the members of the departments like the Department of Labor or the EEOC are operating at an informational deficit, which is the bad news, but the good news is that we have it within our power to correct that. They need to know what your experiences are like. They need to know that you need more child care. They need to know that you need flexible work options. They need to know that it's infuriating that motherhood makes us poor, and it's unacceptable that care work makes us vulnerable. When they become convinced that you are sufficiently mad about that, they will do something. I go to Washington, D.C. I live there. I go downtown rather frequently. I go to Senate hearings, Education and Labor Committee hearings in the House of Representatives. I meet with staff of your members of Congress. I say to them, you know, this is what the women of America are asking for. This is what we need. We're trailing tremendously behind the rest of the world. There are solutions. There are public policy solutions for paid maternity leave, paid parental leave, paid sick days, paid family medical leave for when a relative or a spouse is sick. All of these things are entirely possible. And you get all of this, yes, we're very interested, but you know it's complicated and there are other people who have different views and blah, blah, blah. The only missing piece is you. And once you become convinced of the rightness of your position, and once you become impassioned by the injustice which is being worked upon you every single day, once you get to the point where you say, we're fed up and we're not going to take it anymore, change will happen. They want to know, they will listen. So my job is to tell them what you think and what you feel and to tell you what they're doing. That's why I am heavily involved in the Mothers e-news. I want to make sure that all of you go to the Mothers website and you sign up for the e-news because it's how I can keep this conversation going with you from this weekend on into the future. And how you can find out what's happening there and how it affects your life, and believe me, it does affect your life. And perhaps more importantly, what you can do to affect it. So, don't be afraid to get mad. Don't be afraid to become thoroughly annoyed and ticked off. Don't be afraid to take every opportunity to talk back, to write back, to say to just someone you're having a conversation with, or write a letter to the editor of your paper, or call up the producer of the television program and say, oh, you people, you've got it all wrong. Let me tell you what's really going on here. You are worth listening to, you will be listened to, and change will happen because of what you say. Thank you.